Nigerian stocks reached an all-time high as the all-share index climbed 0.5% to 66,490.3 basis points. Now, the new record also surpassed the high of 66,371.2 basis points that was set more than 15 years ago on March the 5th, 2008. Additionally, market capitalization saw a remarkable increase, closing at 39.69 trillion naira from 36.21 trillion naira on Monday. There are some that believe that President Bola Tinubu's reforms have led to renewed investor confidence and also had an impact on the surge. Joining me now is Oladipo Ajayi, head fixed income and FX, Chapel Hill Denham Securities. Oladipo, thank you so much for joining me on Business Edge. Welcome to the show again.
Good morning. Thank you very much for having me on.
So let's start with a bit of attribution as it is right now, because a lot of people are linking this with some of the quote-unquote market-friendly reforms of the President Tinubu administration. So we'll start from there. How much of this surge to the highest level since March 2008 do you think is attributed to President Tinubu's market reforms?
Well, to be realistic, let us look at it from the eve of the swearing of President Tinubu. The market cap was around about 28.8 trillion, and the all-share index ASI was about 52.9, about 52,907, thereabouts. And between that between that May 29 and today, we have seen an increase from that to about for the all-share index has moved to 69,490, has moved to 36 trillion and above. And so it tells you that something has happened, and what happened was the fact that there were some pronouncements that are actually very, very good for the market, and they are market-friendly statements. And these statements include the removal of subsidy, harmonization of FX, and also the restructuring of the tax system. Those are some of the key things that the market has been waiting for, because when you look at an economy where the cost of servicing debt is like about 90% of your revenue, it's no investor want to come to that kind of environment to actually invest their fund. But when you see market-friendly policies like the one that was mentioned on the day of the swearing in, and that's one of the reasons, that's what actually lured a lot of foreign investors into our market, and that's one of the reasons why we saw that huge movement in the equity market. Also, don't forget that before that, we've had a situation whereby the Nigerian market is heavily underpriced as a result of the FX crisis and the inability of most of these foreign guys to come to the market. We're doing pretty well that Naira will need to give way at a particular point in time, because then the official window was at 470 and the parallel market was north of 700. So at that particular point, most of these foreign investors have the view that we need to devalue the currency at a point in time. So most of them are not even willing to come in at that particular point in time. But now, immediately the president actually made that statement. He actually gave support to the market, and that's one of the reasons why we saw what we saw.
But some people would have to ask, is the equity markets then insulated from the current pressure in the economy? Because we've seen the impact of some of these same reforms on Nigerians, on the purchasing power, on businesses closing or shutting down or having to scale back. So are we seeing a difference in how the response is given from the real economy, the real sector, the people who are feeling the pinch, and of course what's happening in the equities market? Or is this just about a few indices on the bourse?
No, it is across board, and if you want to look at it, let's look at it from this perspective, that the fact that when you see policies, you don't necessarily see the direct impact on people just immediately. Sometimes there's a time lag between the implementation of policies and when people start feeling the positive impact of the policy. But what market will actually do is that market trade on sentiment and not on actual output. Immediately market sees policies market will react immediately, because you don't wait until when you see the actualization of the policy to act, because at that particular point in time, you'd have lost opportunity in the market. And that's exactly what we're seeing. Basically, when you see an economy where you are paying subsidy very close to 7 trillion in a year, and it becomes concern, and at the same time, it's not you are making revenue to actually cover that. You basically be borrowed to actually fund those obligations. So it's not a concern to the market. Are you sure it will not get to a level that such country will be declared bankrupt? And that was one of the concerns of the market. But immediately that was reversed. Of course, market reacted positively to that. But the part of businesses, sincerely speaking, business will feel the impact in the first instance. But in the long run, it will be a better one for the country, because when you look at between June and now, the government has announced that they've been able to set aside 2 trillion from the FAC allocations. So what that simply means that such fund would have been paid as a subsidy, and at the same time, subsidy is just for consumption; it's not for development. Imagine the country being able to save maybe around 6 trillion in this year, and you are able to actually allocate those funds into specific sector, education, health, infrastructure, and the like. The growth that we are looking for in the economy will actually come as a result of that, not as a result of consuming those funds.
Okay. So in terms of the momentum, because you sort of laid a timeline for us as to the reactions we've seen from the market since the president was inaugurated up till now, when it comes to this momentum of this positivity we're seeing, how long do you think it can be sustained? And not necessarily more record breaking. We don't expect that possibly today we're going to see another record broken, but staying close to this high. So how long do you think this momentum can be sustained? And what are the factors that you think will facilitate us seeing stocks on the Nigerian burst hold on to this momentum?
As we speak, most of this market will actually trade around this place for some time. And in no time, you get to see market actually break this side as well. And my view is premised on the fact that currently we still have the FX market still very much volatile. And a lot of foreign investors are still waiting on the sideline until when normalcy returns to the FX market. And immediately that is done, we'll see huge influx of FX coming into Nigeria market looking for investment destination. And one of the best destinations is the equity markets, also the fixed income markets. And at that particular point in time, you expect market to actually move higher than this current level. So I feel that the market will trade at this current level for quite some time before getting to another high, when we start seeing influx of foreign investors into the market.
All right, so we can quickly look at the top 5 gainers there on the screen for you, as they also performed with this record-breaking feat by Nigerian stocks. Those are the top 5 gainers we're looking at. But Oladipo, let's quickly also look at the market capitalization as well. That increased significantly. Does that have any impact on the overall market ecosystem and investor portfolios as well?
Yeah, of course. Market capitalization is also a function of the whole market system, because as prices of stocks on the exchange goes up, of course, you expect that to actually affect the market capitalization. And that's one of the reasons why we have seen that huge movement. And also, if you notice that most of the top gainers, we saw Flour Mill released their result, their full year and their Q1 result yesterday. And their full year result was very, very great. And although their Q1 result, because of the FX loss that they took, it wasn't as great as the market would have expected. But however, of course, we know it's not peculiar to them. It's across board. Most of the consumer names, they actually took a lot of FX loss in Q1. So, and also you look at champion breweries, and you look at most of these other stocks, they actually posted. And also you look at NASCON, Dangote Sugar, and if you look at NASCON and Dangote Sugar, they had already a merger plan in place to actually merge those two companies together. And the end result is that there will be optimization of resources in that line, and that's one of the reasons why a lot of investors are actually heavily investing in some of those things. So when you look at the overall market, The market still poses a lot of values that actually, if you look at the banking sector, you look at GT, you look at Zenith, you look at Stanbic, you look at the cement sector, you see Boa, you see Dangote Cement, you see WAPCO. Those are strong names that anyone wants to actually put their money, knowing pretty well that they have the opportunity to actually increase in valuation, and which at the end of the day will bring value to any investor.
Okay, Oladipo, I have two more questions, but time is not on our side, so I want us to do this very quickly because another sector that contributed to the gains is consumer goods stocks. And we also remember they were also badly hit by Forex losses, the news that came out earlier this month and late last month as well. In terms of how they were able to end up driving this growth, what do you think is behind that, given that they did take some serious hits when it came to the managed float or the unification process that Nigeria underwent or is undergoing?
You see, one of the ways that most of these guys did is that they actually increased the prices of their goods. And what that did to them, that increased their revenue. And at the same time, a lot of them also work on their cost structure so as to actually increase their bottom line. And that's exactly how to actually do one's canoe in this kind of turbulent situation. Most of them, they may not be able to increase price greatly, but however, a marginal increase in price and coupled with reduction in cost will actually bail them out in such a time like this. So we are not surprised with what we are saying, and we even expect to see more of that by year end, because most of them, they've taken the loss of their FX now and they are good. And before now, it's been like a burden to most of those consumer names. You see them sitting on huge cash, and at the end of the day, they have FX liability on their liability, right? So one day this thing will have to crystallize, but now it's been crystallized, and they can now move on from there. The loss has been taken, and they can now move on from there. So the market knows that it's one of issue, is one of loss. So it's not something that will be consistent. So we feel that they will be back on the page, and it actually shows that they are still a very, very good place to put your money.
All right, so finally, I need this answer in 30 seconds. Trading has started already for today. We broke records yesterday. What are the early signals? What are the early signs you're seeing from the markets right now? 30 seconds.
We are not seeing more interest, most especially on First Bank. We saw interest on First Bank. First Bank is already moving above 79 in the market. Also, we are already seeing other interest in the market. So we will not be surprised if we actually broke yesterday's record in today's trading section.
Wow, Oladipo, I'm going to hold you to that. If you end up being an oracle today, we're going to have to touch base tomorrow as well. Oladipo Ajayi, Head Fixed Income and FX, Chapel Hill Denham Securities, thank you so much for joining me. We might be seeing another record breaking today, so just stand by, because I know that means we'll be talking to you later in the day. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Fantastic. And that's as much as we can take on Business Edge, ending on a high note, just as high as the Nigerian stock market, and possibly another high could be what we see today. But let's keep our eyes locked right here on News Central as we give you all the latest news and information, business, the economy, and finance coming to you from here in Nigeria and around the continent. I'm Tolulokwe Adeleru Balogun, 12 p.m. West African time. You have News Central now coming your way. Do have a fantastic day.